Today we have gathered here for the trials of Bluelock'S greediest money lover, Hirotoshi Buratsuta. You have been charged with the following crimes from the fandom: using soccer as just a business, treating Henri like a joke and only taking her melon seriously, selecting Hoichi as the U20 Japanese coach because he is a dog of the union, using Sai Itoshi in Bluelock versus U20 Japan for making profit in money and destroying Bluelock for good, using physical force on your coach for trailing in a game, and lastly, being volume 34 instead of many candidates like Noah, Lavinia, Chris, Snuffy, Luna, and the list goes on. Do you have anything to say for yourself, defendant?
Bro, my name is Hirotoshi Buratsuta. I am 62 years old, born on November 7th, 1976. Got a blood type A, I'm the chairman of the JFU. I'm gonna let my attorney Suki take care of the rest. So for today's video, I'm gonna try and convince you guys that Buratsuta is not as bad as you all make him out to be. For starters, when it comes to Miss Terry's melon glazing, he wasn't the only one, as his co-workers were too, and the Bluelock fandom been gazing too, don't lie, you sick freak creatures watching this right now. This is just like the Diddy situation, so many sick freaks doing the same thing, but since he's the most popular one doing it, he gets caught. That's why Diddy's the biggest name doing it. Just like Buratsuta, because he's the biggest name who was doing it, unlike the no-names who are also gazing in that panel, he's the one who they're gonna go after. Hashtag free Diddy Kong for the Mario Kart fans. Then we got people harassing him about the Bluelock project, and at least no one is dying. He isn't killing anyone. If they don't succeed, they can just join Nagi and McDonald's. For trying to shut down the Bluelock campaign, can you blame him? We got a 31-year-old who's on a ramen diet who can't even clean up after himself, wasting ludicrous amounts of money like he don't even care. It ain't even funny. For example, the World 5 were paid 100 million USD, not yen, United States dollars. Confirmed when Nuna's text box showed the actual US dollar sign, so you can't even justify that it was yen, it was dollars. And speaking of Luna, he talked about how they were paid 10k per goal if they didn't lose the match, which they did not lose any match, and since they score 5 goals per game, that's 50k per match. Meaning, if you lost 7 times against the World 5, you lost $350,000 from those 7 games. And keep in mind, some teams may have faced them and the World 5 deemed them unworthy, but they were still paid. So a whole lot of money would have went into just that. In terms of the JFU's perspective, if they don't get rid of Ego, they're gonna go bankrupt, and they hadn't really gotten any results out of him yet. So understand their perspective. They are losing so much money, not even just from the World 5, from building the project from the ground up, making the facilities, making the jerseys, making the bathrooms, the beds, everything that was there, not just from the first selection, the second selection, the monitors, the holograms, all of that costed a whole lot of money. We're looking at between 100 million USD to at least $1 billion USD, and that might not even be the max of money Ego had on this project. And this is United States dollars. So yeah, in their perspective, their corporation could go bankrupt for a program that hadn't even shown any results yet. Parents were fuming because they didn't know what the hell was going on. Their kids' futures and lives could be sacrificed for just one striker. They don't know what to do. So obviously, the first thing to do is to get rid of Bluelock to save their own well-beings and their company. So yeah, the fact that they even went along with the Bluelock project for so long and were patient about it shows the amount of determination that went through Buratsuta. So Buratsuta is actually a very patient guy for having to wait as long as he did for the preparations. Because the Bluelock story starts in November 2019, but keep in mind the Bluelock facility must have taken like between 7 months to a year to make. So yeah, we're looking from anywhere between 2018 to 2019. That's how long it must have taken for all this to happen. So we're looking from anywhere between 2017 to 2019. That's where most of this would have happened. For why Hoichi was Buratsuta's perfect coach, it's because he was good at following orders from the JFU, which establishes a healthy relationship, and it's good to have that, as a bad one could get you one step closer to being fired. and would have heated arguments down the road. So when people get pissed at Buratsuta for using Sai as a means of making money, please keep in mind how much the JFU OD sacrificed in terms of finances before they even started making profit from that exhibition game. He also knows when to put his cocky attitude away and pay respect to greatness, as he did with Itoshi Sai, making sure he kept his best player happy by giving him whatever striker he wanted. For why Buratsuta used physical aggression against Coach Hoichi, it's not even like he hit him. He just pinned him against the wall and used his angry breath against him. I needed to show him how angry he was, so the coach would get it together to win the match, as a lot was on the line. He should be ashamed that he had to beg an old man with no ball knowledge on what you should do. For Christ's sake, just give the job to Sai. He was the true coach for his team, even ridiculing Hoichi about it. Now he is Nagi's manager at McDonald's. He then let Ego have Bluelock TV and went out of his way to make Bluelock merch products to bring in more money. This is low-key helping out Ego with his debt problems, and he straight up just rejects it. Even Mystery liked it. What's wrong with him trying new ideas for the U20 World Cup? For all we know, it could be bringing Japan home field advantage. Now lastly, people have been hating on the latest volume cover. However, we have to keep in mind it's the one that made the most. Among the master strikers, the pro players, the only reason we got Loki is because he is in the U20 category, so it made sense as he's 17. The rest of the pros haven't gotten a volume cover because they are not going to be in the next arc. They are over 20 years old. They're going to be in the main World Cup. So throughout that time, we will get main volume covers of them. And yes, the person with the most direct involvement for the U20 World Cup that's been set up already from chapters 210 and 248 is Hirotoshi Buratsuta. So it really made the most sense. I'm really surprised at how many big names were shocked that he was the volume cover, including names like Maddie and Lessons from Anime, and a big amount of the social media fandom was really shocked by this. I'm really surprised at how many people didn't expect this. But hey, I get to hold bragging rights for predicting his and Loki volume covers way back in February. And honestly, it's the best volume cover currently. The gold chains, the aesthetic about it, the pure white background that you have from the chairman, because all the staff members, Ego, Anri, and him have it. But yeah, I think this is my favorite volume cover because the gold coins representing how he makes the most money from soccer, with the soccer balls being on it. The Nagi facepalm potentially showing that either one, he's just a small amount of the money that Buratsuta can make out of Bluelock, and two, that he is one of the most popular things to come from Bluelock, to the point where he might have to just revive him, as Nagi is a big money maker. Like how I mentioned in my Nishioka video, he has the power to take down Ego, as he used his power over him once when he took Shido from Bluelock's team and threatened to shut down Bluelock if Sai pulled out. And with Nagi shown at the end of chapter 301, we can assume his return will be sooner rather than later. In my Discord server, I had a few theories, realistically only two, from the first being Kat, who also voiced the jury.
You know I'm still here, right?
Yes, Your Majesty. Her first one was that Buratsuta and Nagi are related. So first, he can't be his parent, as we know his parents are laissez-faire and Nagi would be rich already. And secondly, Buratsuta would never give Nagi a quote such as "Don't die before us," which was shown in the episode Nagi one-shot letter, which I do not know how to get screenshots of, so I can't post it here. But yeah, it would be wild if he actually was related to Nagi, even with the different last names and no connected panels as of yet, with the only exception being his volume cover. The other one was by both Cat and Dumpling of my server, being that Nagi will return due to Buratsuta because of his popularity, so we all have the same mindset. With one final statement, if anyone should be arrested, it's Iko Jinpachi for experimenting on Kunigami and probably doing other cruel things behind the scenes.
Alright, with the evidence provided by Suki, I declare that Buratsuta is deemed innocent, and this case will therefore be adjourned.
Take this music and use it, let it take you away, and be hopeful, hopeful, and he'll make a way. I know.
So high up endorphins, all this gotta come.
Don't go prematurely celebrating.